Hello everyone and welcome back to EVE Market, your weekly look at the amarr market. We are in Rea, so some new things has added to it. 100 new wormhole system, one system that has 4 stations in it. It's a huge wormhole system. New ships, 2 new ships, the bowhead and the confessor out of my head. And of new rendering for ships. Now, the rendering for ships is not bad now. They look pretty nice. Lot better on the color. The amarr gold is coming a little bit better through now. It looks pretty good. Now, I must say that if you go towards the more the Tech 2 ships, like the amarr ones, they're looking pretty good. This one also does not have really gold on it. The Zealot has. I think, see, there's a little bit of gold on it, but not really jumping out of it. Now, what I think about then the Gland ones, if you look at these, this one is not bad. This one looks alright. But if you look like on the Ishita, it's maybe a little bit too shiny. I think they're a little bit too shiny, some ships. Not all of them, but that's definitely one of them. And what I definitely also noticed was, I think it was the Sin too. Like this one, look, it's a little bit too shiny. The ships look good, but it's a little bit too shiny. It could be a little bit less on it. Yeah, because if you look at the amarr ones, they're not that really in huge shiny. Oh, like the Kadari ones. They don't even have any shiny thing. Oh, these were already in game for a while, so. And like the Mimitar. Not like Mimitar ships can be shiny, because it's old metal, rusty metal and duct tape, so yeah, they can't be shiny, yeah. Of course, we have new ships. We're gonna look at it a little bit later. One thing else. I was thinking about ending this series for next year. This year I'm gonna finish off for sure. Next year I don't know really how many people thinking this is useful to do. Following the market. If you want to keep this series ongoing for the next year, please let me know in the comments why you want to have this series to keep on going. So let me know why you're watching this series, why you want to see this. So please let me that know, and from there on I'm gonna decide if I'm gonna keep on going next year with this market series from amarr or not. So please let me that know. Then we just go on here straight for the minerals. We're gonna look at the market. Titanium is still slightly going up. There seems to be pretty huge sales here on let's see, Friday and Wednesday. It seems pretty high spikes on sales for minerals. Average price from titanium seems to be pretty much stable. I think just below the 6 is, it looks like it. The 5-day is a little bit dropping, so the price is slowly dropping maybe. 20-day is not dropping yet on it. And where's my sheet? There it is. Prices for titanium for the sellers just over the 6 is 6.04, and for the buyers 5.94. Slight drop since last week. Last week was 6 is flat, so it's a very small drop for the price of titanium. Ferrite. Ferrite at the beginning of this week has been going up. Hit its peak point even at 12 ISK. After that it dropped down again. 5-day average is dropping, 20-day not yet. At least the Friday was lower, Saturday no data available, and the Sunday is already a pretty while in. So it's already pretty late here. Yeah, it's later than I thought. So Fahrenheit is definitely slowly dropping, not really at a huge speed. There seems to be slightly. 12.26 for the seller's price and 11.37 for the buyers. Buyer's price is a slight increase even since last week. That was 11.19 last week, so a very small increase in that price for Fahrenheit. Maximum has been pretty unstable for the last 4 or 5 days, 6 days. Before that, beginning of the week, it was pretty stable, sitting just above the 58. And then suddenly it went up and then it went down. It went up and down and down. And today we don't know. Very unstable Maxlon. It doesn't know where to go. It seems to be, on average, it's starting to drop. The 20 days is a little bit dropping. The 5 day is dropping. So on average, it looks like Maxlon is going to start to drop in price. Seller's price 62.73 and for the buyers 56.25. Buyer's price has dropped since last week. 58.03 was the last week's price. So clearly dropping, also like it said here. It's very unclear what it's doing, but it looks like it's going to start to drop. Hydrogen. There's not really anything else changing on this than the normal slowly going up in price. Very slowly, not doing a hell of a lot as is. Friday has been dropped a little bit compared to the Thursday. For today we're sitting higher, so on average oxygen is still going up in price. 125 for the sellers and 116.15 for the buyers. 114.04 last week's price. So climbing pretty quick up, about 2 per week at the moment, and that's going adding up pretty quickly. Noxium is definitely the beginning of this week strongly going up in price, and then Wednesday, Thursday it went a little bit lower. Friday it dropped even more. Still pretty decent amount of sales on these days, higher than normal for the Friday and the Wednesday. That's apparently pushing the price a little bit down. Then yesterday and today is no data available. So Noxium seems to be starting to drop in price now. 605 just below it for the seller's price, and for the buyer's price 561.29. No, last week's price I have standing on 757. I think that needs to be 657. But doesn't matter. Noxium is dropping in price, clearly. Then let's look at Zynuit. Zynuit is dropping still in price. After the spike we had, it went above 500. Already last week it already dropped below the 500 again, and even now it's starting to drop below the 450 almost. At least yesterday, Saturday, it was sitting at 450. Still a very huge amount of sales too on the Saturday. Let's push this price lower. So Zynuit is dropping again in price. 460 for the seller's price and 433 just above it for the buyer's price. Definitely dropped last week's price, 469.70. So clearly dropped from Zynuit and getting closer to the 400 mark even. Megasite has been slowly dropping this week. Not a huge amount of movement, except for the last 3 days it suddenly dropped towards the 800. Also clearly a bigger amount of sales here for the last 3 days, 4 days, but it's pushing the price down again for Megasite. Well, 850 just below it for the seller's price, 753.61 for the buyers. There's clearly a drop since last week. 831.27 was last week's price. So Megasite is clearly dropping. Last mineral is the morphite. And morphite is clearly going up in price. It has been going down this week, but for the last 3 days it's going back up again. And I don't know why. I don't know if Tech 3 use morphite. I don't know really. I have done Tech 3, but I don't know about the new Tech 3 cruiser. I completely forgot about if they use morphite. So yeah, morphite has been going down this week. Then there was a little bit higher sales on the Friday, and that pushing the price a little bit back up again even. Seller's price 5,800, now 5,900, just below it for the sellers. For the buyers 5,628, just above it. That went slightly up since last week. 5,600 was last week's price. So there's not a big increase in that. I'm gonna skip to this time the salvage. I will go through it a little bit quicker, at least to show you guys, and then we're going to go on for the new ships. Armor plates is clearly rising pretty quickly. Burn logic circuits seems to have the same story. Probably people all getting a confessor, rigging it up. So these prices seems to rise pretty quickly. Well, Friday Interface Circuits doesn't have a lot of buy orders up, and seems to be also the first one that is still dropping in price. Well, it had a little bit spike earlier this week. Well, the capacitor consoles were pretty stable, except for the last 3 days. Sudden drop in price. Also not many buyers. Very low. The power circuits is also on the rise, except for the last 3 days. Same story, also dropping. Now let's look at some new ships. We're gonna start off with the new blueprint that is available on the market. It's the Bauhead. I've been watching this BPO on the market for the first day when Rhea came out. I've been tracking it in Jita, I've been tracking it in Amarr. The first day that the patch was out, there was in Jita and Amarr not a single Bauhead BPO sold. I think everybody was waiting until there was coming more on the market and the price started dropping. The day it came out, the Bauhead BPO in Amarr was about 2.5 billion ISK. It's now sitting around 1.6 billion ISK. I know the buy price in Outer Ring is about 1,550,000,000, if I'm right. That's the price in Outer Ring here, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it. I've seen a screenshot from someone on the forums. That's the only thing I know of it. So that's about the price I say that's from the Bauhead. Of course, the ship itself is not yet on the market because people are still producing it. The exact manufacturing time for the Bauhead is 17 days. And that's even for me, then it's unresearched at all. 17 days, 8 hours. So most people are already building it, and it's gonna take a while for the first ones getting on the market. But think about next week, we may see the first ones on the market. It's gonna be like just be or be not, probably be not on the market yet. Exact production time in the pause is gonna be shorter, of course. But yeah, if they're gonna be in time done within the 2 weeks, I don't think so. And you see straight away what materials is needed. So yeah, no buyers on the market. They already buy orders up 1.5 billion ISK. I don't know what the price is for producing a Bauet. I don't own a BPO. I'm thinking of getting one. Then the second new ship where most people are looking forward to it is probably the Confessor. It's the new amarr Tech 3 tactical destroyer. It's a very nice ship and it can shift between setups, not really setup, not the fitting, but on how you want to use it. You can switch it to speed, it's going to be a lot faster. You can switch it to sniper mode to get a lot more tracking, or you can switch it to defense mode, you get lots more resist. It's a really nice looking ship. I cannot fly it if I'm mistaken. Requirements. No, I'd need a amarr destroyer 5 and an amarr tactical destroyer. I probably can just not get one out next week. I might should give it a try to get it out. 8 days. It's gonna be close. No, so I'm not gonna make it to show you guys it how to fly it. So it's sitting on pretty decent prices. There are a huge amount being sold per day already. It's only for 3 days being sold. Most people had the yeah, it's invented, reverse invention or something. I don't know how it's called now. And had to build it, and you see there's a pretty decent amount of sales. There's in about around 40 yesterday being sold, 40, 45 around that. The prices, I must say, they're high now. They're probably gonna drop more. It's around 550 million, 560 million for a Tech 3 cruiser. I don't think you can see it in here how to switch it. Don't think that's possible. No. It's not possible to do that. But it looks pretty nice, pretty agile. It also depends on how you fit it and what configuration you're gonna fly it. So this was this week's look at the amarr market. Please let me know down in the comments if you want me to keep on going this series. A little bit not sure if we're gonna keep on going with this. So if you keep following these videos of mine, please let me know in the comments if it's useful for me to keep on going, or I can put more time in something else. Right, we'll see you all next week again, and fly safe.